Good afternoon, all of you. It's a pleasure to stay here again, one more day. Today, I will not be impartial. I'm going to talk with people with whom that I have a special bond because of beach soccer. Then I am a fervent believer in this field. So today will be a fantastic day where hopefully we'll offer more content and more knowledge to our beloved sport. Then I want to say welcome to María. María, buenas tardes, buenos días.
Afternoon, buenas tardes.
And also welcome to Davor from Swiss. Hi, Davor.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, today we will talk about psychology. Then let's start with María. Okay, María was a Spanish grass ex-player, also psychologist, also coach, and since few years ago, she began to work on beach soccer. I met her about 4 or 5 years ago, and since I met her, I thought that she definitely could add value to our sport. I invite her to be part of our staff, and we have been working in different groups. She will talk about all of that. María, welcome, thanks to be with us, and please go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank Beach Soccer Worldwide for dedicating a space to psychological work in this talk. Psychology is a science, and as such, it should be another tool in the process of development and improvement of beach soccer. So thanks. Psychological work can be differentiated into a strictly cognitive aspect related with attention, perception, memory, and another type of work, which is what we have developed, is focused directly on the collective, getting to have the I at the service of the we. So group cohesion, feeling of belonging, group trust, communication. So Rami, you can stop me anytime during the talk, and I'm going to divide it into 3 different parts, how we are showing. Okay, peculiarities on a psychological level that I have found in beach soccer. There are probably more, but these are the most important ones I have found. The methodology, how I have worked in my specific context, okay, and some my experience in beach soccer, and how within beach soccer we will see the objectives and the work with the results that I have in 3 different contexts. So you can go. Okay, the previous one, Rami.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Perfect. Okay, within the peculiarities that I mentioned, first of all, we have to highlight the sand. Okay, it's a demanding surface, and in terms of psychological demand, the player will need to face the difficulty that it entails. Next, the capacity that we need to develop in our players is self-demanding, to adapt not only to the sand, but to everything that beach soccer involves. Next, we are in the collective sport, and we need to be successful, and we need a sense of belonging into a group, a team. So we need to focus on that. We are going to see this point under the point of view of coaches and not of players. Okay, and the last one will be the decisionality of beach soccer. Okay, linked to summer in most countries, that we are going to see that is another factor to take into account. Okay, first, the sand. It has a very high physical demand. This increases the energy needs of the body and the mind, okay? So we need, the player need many hours of practice as well as a process of adaptation. So there are two factors that a psychological level involve a very large work on the player. To deal with this, we will have to develop work that will allow the player to increase their patience level, and we will help them to remain focused on the objectives that we will establish. This must be, the objective must be realistic and achievable. So, and will allow the player to keep the focus on those objectives and not lose it due to the physical demands of the sun. Okay. In order to talk about the self-demand that beach soccer has, we need to know that beach soccer is a sport where most clubs and players are not professional. So in addition, different competitions have limitation about the number of foreigners, which reduces the number of places to play in the big teams. So moreover, in many cases, players don't have the possibility to train in a group or in a team in the places where they live, which means that they are going to spend a lot of hours training alone or training in a small group. So in these cases, the psychological aspect that we need to work with them are the perseverance, the self-knowledge, the self-confidence, the self-criticism. From the point of view of the sport psychology, we need the player be able to focus on himself during this individual training process. We need to work with them in relaxation, self-talk. We need make them conscient about their thoughts and the consequences that their thoughts are. Okay, so it's going to be a fundamental point to achieve an integral improvement and development for the player.
Maria, sorry. I think trying to remember my time when I was beginning to play. I think this is a clear explanation who suppose the process that most of the players follow in their development as beach soccer players. Then, in general, it means an initialization of the sport. Then the player arrives to the sport and adapt to the sport. After specialization, that means the phase in which we learn the skills, we adapt to the sand, we learn how to play, and after the next step is the high performance regarding international level and the level of the opponents. I think we can say that on these two first aspects, we can integrate these three steps or phases, right?
Right. This is the adaptation process that a player needs to achieve this goal to be a professional player, or at the minimum play as much professionally as possible.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. After that, when the players achieve this point, they are going to, during a season, they are going to play different leagues and different clubs, travel to different countries, live with different cultures. So in this point, I want to focus on the vision of the coach, and as coaches in this situation, we need to give a major role to the sense of belonging, to work in this membership or this feeling of belong to a group in this moment is crucial, is a key point. The more I feel part of a group, the more committed I will be to it. So we have to work on increasing the knowledge of the group. We can do it through games, knowledge dynamic, but we have to make sure that we increase the group cohesion, which will allow us to start the training process together and stay together, because we are going to need it in the good moments, but also in the bad moments. So the demands of beach soccer that I was talking before, we have to compensate not only with the individual aspect of the players that we have been talking, but also with the cohesion of the team, with the collective work. The closer I am to my teammates, the greater my capacity for sacrifice and commitment to him. So we need to focus on that. What do we have in common? What is our common goal? And this work is developed both in aspect directly related to the work on the pitch and also in group dynamics out of the pitch. And in many cases, we are going to be able to take advantage of this situation. For example, with the cultural exchange, if we work on it and we use it, we are going to have we are going to turn one thing that could be a threat into a strength of in our process, in our training process. And the next step we have I mentioned it before, is the seasonality of beach soccer. Okay, it makes it a sport that involves a lot of travel and a high summer occupation for the players. So they, in search of high performance, they will have to work on motivational aspects. Why do I do what I do? Okay, and the establishment of objectives. I have talked about, they need to be realistic, achievable, and with set deadlines. Okay, we need to have a timeline. They need a timeline to develop, to evaluate the objective, to change, to look for more objectives, less. We need to do it. They need to do it, and we as a player of a group, we need to work on that. Okay, because in this case, the player must be ready for a mental fatigue. It's unavoidable, because most of the matches he will play are concerned in less than 6 months in the most of cases. The normal is the season for a professional player in Europe, for example, not more than 6 months. So we need to work on expectation. What do I expect from myself? And also on goals. What do I want to achieve? It's especially important when the competition is so short. So we need to be really focused on this. And an important point that we will need another talk is when the injuries occur. Okay, beach soccer has a low incidence of joint injuries, but muscular injuries are there. So on a psychological level in beach soccer, we need to work with players, injured players, because science has shown us that it can be decisive in the improving of this injury. So moreover, added to the fact that an injury can make you lose a large part of the season. So this work is even more important than in other sports. I think, in my opinion, in beach soccer, it has more important.
I agree. I think it's a very clear exposition, Maria, and perfectly describes the different phases of the process of the beach soccer players, as I told before, go through when they reach an international level. Let's ask Davor. Davor also has experience with that situations. Then, please, could you, Davor, let us know your thoughts about these aspects? You see this process also in your local players that play in Swiss, and also that you got them in your hands. and after finish and end up with an international impact with the national team, then what do you feel? What do you think about this process? Do you agree? A lot of examples for sure with you.
Yes, I agree, absolutely. But just in case is that you have to believe in your work. That means you cannot stop to rest some days, or maybe just to say, okay, let me think about my process. Maybe I need a little bit more time. No, you have to make a goal. That means your really high goal. That is, or you want to win a championship, so national championship, or you want to be for the next step a national player. So that means like a Swiss national player, and these two goals have to be on your maximum level. So that means, first of all, exactly, you want to be, or maybe you want to win a national championship, and the next step could be, or have to be, to go to the next step to the national team. So don't lose never your focus to achieve these goals. Okay, this is really important.
Great, thank you. Go ahead, Maria. Continue. Your next comments will be about your methodology, right?
This is this. From the point of view of sports psychology, different methodologies can be established to approach any of the different section or points that we can work. I'm going to present the one that I have used because in this moment I consider was the most appropriate in my context, but it doesn't mean that is the best or the only one. Was the best in my cases. Okay, in this case, firstly, information is power. So it's important to try to gather as much information as possible from the context in which we are working, or in which we are going to work. Okay. In addition to what we have previously, we will go through the process of observation. It's important that the player perceives our work as psychologists normally doing this observation process, which is carried out in all the context of the team. Okay, so we need to be another tool during the process. Okay, the next step is the communication. Establishing a clear and efficient way of communicating is fundamental. Okay, to do this, we must be aware that not all players are the same, and the information at the observation will help us to establish the best form of communication with each of them. Okay. Once we have information, we were able to observe these contents and establish each channel with each player to have a correct communication. So we can develop in this moment group dynamics. Okay, we are going to work in our objective through this dynamic. We can work about the group objectives, the group communication, cohesion, emotional aspects. So all these aspects that we have seen before and we have been talking about, we can approach them as a part of these dynamics. This will generate a relationship of trust, of confidence with the players individually and with the team as a group, as a collective. So then from this trust, from this confidence, we will be able to work on more emotionally charged aspect, because we all have established a bond. And from science, scientifically speaking, everything we do based on this bond of trust And with this emotional chart, we'll have a very big impact and a better development of the learning process. We need to achieve this emotional point to work from it, okay? And after that, from this situation of confident, of emotional environment, we will be able to obtain new information, which allow us to restart the cycle. So in this way, we will be able to address more and more questions from knowledge of the players and the group to aspects of performance. And we are going to be able to work on visualization, concentration, attention, but we will have a mistake if we start to work in this kind of performance aspect before have the information, the previous, and before establish the way to communicate with each player and with the team as a group.
Okay, now let's see different case studies and the peculiarities and the different contexts for applying these tools. Okay, show us.
Okay, I will comment my experience in beach soccer. Okay, I have divided them into 3, and though they were with 2 different teams, but I think that the best way to show different ways to work was divide, in this case, the Chinese work in 2 different moments. And during the next slides, I will speak in plural, okay? Because all the work developed has been with our working group and trying to address all aspects of the player together, okay? So this is the reason you are going to listen to me talking in plural, okay? Okay, the first step is with the Chinese national team of beach soccer, obviously, was from 2018 to 2019, more or less. And according with the methodology we had before, the first contact was based on getting this information, okay? In this case, the difficulty in communication play an important role, because in the end, when you work with an interpreter, the process obviously is slower, and you can lose information without be able to control it. So this was a key point for us, and it's important to have in consideration. Then with the team, we found a complex group. No communication, not knowing each other, core relationship. They were more like soldiers than players. And this was the first thing that we found there. But based on this, our plan focused on increasing the players' level of trust with us and with each other. And to do this, our strategy was based on the improvement and the growth of the sport in general, and not thinking in short-term sporting results. Okay, to do this, we gave a lot of importance to the use of games, not only as a fun aspect, but as a tool adapted to our needs. The communication, the knowledge, the cohesion, the confidence, and we also use different communication dynamics that were very significant for us, because we found the players learned to express themselves and to listen. So we achieved the goal to work on emotional intelligence. And this was, I was surprised in this moment, because the group was very complex, and we have to achieve this goal. As a result, we went from having a group to a team with common goals, with an identity, common identity. So we we achieved this from a group to a team and to a family, where each member take care of each other. And we always had an atmosphere of trust and happiness, so we could link beach soccer to these feelings and make beach soccer means this, have this value for the players. So we will link it. And you can go next. I think that the pictures from me. Okay, what you see in the picture are some results of what we did. Okay, players closer to each other, also to us. I developed a good relationship with all of them, confidence that it allowed us to know more of each of them. The last photo, we can see the punishments that we use for losers of games, and we share it in a funny way. Okay, players with a higher level of extroversion. Okay, singing, dancing. Okay, we achieve these small goals that we need for after that develop our training process, obviously.
I don't want to miss the chance to add something here, because obviously I was involved on this process, and at the end, María, I have to say that this experience, fully agree with you, and this is the reason I trust on your job, on psychology in general, but how we could apply it on beach soccer. This experience has marked me as a person that we have built a family with values and with respect and admiration in a group of people that are not used to a lot of our routine habits, our Latin, European and Latin habits. It was incredible how the first day they didn't allow us to touch them, to say hello, and how we finished the relationship with them, being a family, trusting each other and talking about the personal problems. And this process really helped you to understand how important could be your job in general, and how we can get profits and benefits from in our area, in our sport, beach soccer. And thanks again, and yes, go ahead.
Okay, the second experience in this case is with regard to a club. Okay, we work with Falfala, the team from Israel, during the 2018 Euro Winners Cup. So from the first moment, we knew that the composition of the team was going to be very particular, because the player from Israel didn't have a lot of experience in high-level competition, and they were not professionals. And the foreign players were 4 of the best players in the world, all of them obviously professional. In addition, between the staff and the team, we have 7 nationalities and 7 different cultures, obviously. So
sorry, María, continue. Sorry, María,
yeah.
Disturb you. Continue, but the presentation
we lost.
went down. But don't worry, you can continue explaining, and after we show the slides, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this was the context. Okay, different kind of players, a lot of different nationalities and cultures. So we knew that we needed to work on communication aspect and to optimize the relationships between the players, because in addition, in this case, we had objectives of results, okay, which made the work more demanding, because in the previous experience we don't have objective of results. We need to develop, we need to improve. But at the end, in this case, we had a very clear goal and a very close competition. So we need to select the work having in consideration. Okay, so on the pitch we use cohesion games also, and out of the pitch we try to get the players to spend time together, doing outdoor activities or group dynamics in areas of the different hotels. Okay, we also prepare individual communication plans to try to put the individual at the service of the team, because we have different personalities and we need to know all of them in a very short time, and obviously with a clear and close objective. So we achieved a commitment to group objective, as well as a strong cohesion between local and foreign players. It was amazing to see and to realize how they were feeling and how they were trying to give their best. And at the end, we built an identity, how we want it to be. Also around the context around the team was amazing, was formed by the large staff that helped to focus more easily on individual aspect to persevere and despite the negative results. Okay, because at the end we didn't achieve the result objectives, but we managed to generate a goal for the future, which will later be achieved to be the champions of Israel, so that they will not need to play previous phases, and at the end we didn't achieve our goals, but we found a way to establish new goals, to remain together and to make our identity remain. So in the end, we built this familiar environment also, and family means emotion, and emotion means improvement. So we achieve.
So also here, while the presentation didn't come again, I want to add also that here was an amazing experience. Have some of the best players in the world, and have the chance for the local players of Israel to play with them. No international experience before, not long, large international experience, but be able to build a family atmosphere between them to achieve a better sporting performance. Totally different cultures in this case, totally different sporting levels, and to be able to create the atmosphere and build between all of them, it was an indescribable experience. Staff of, I think we were more than 15 people working together, different cultures, different languages. We built a family, and also thanks to the sport and to the job and the performance of the psychology. And again, amazing experience. Next step.
Yeah, full agree. Okay. So the next, I think okay. These are some of the photos to show the process. Okay. We have in the last one, foreign player with local players. Okay. Game, sharing some funny time in the pitch, out of the pitch, and at the end we build this in the photo where I am. There are the 7 nationalities and cultures, and I think I completely agree with Rami. It was an amazing experience, and we found different ways to work with different players. So it was amazing. No, I don't know. Okay, this one. Perfect. Okay, this is the second period with the Chinese team. Okay, I wanted to differentiate it because the work was very different. In this moment, this time, we have a competitive context, more or less, with the qualifier for the World Cup. So during the months of when we prepare, we needed to work on the commitment of each player, as well as a group. And in addition, a factor that we have not dealt with until now came into play. Obviously, is the pressure. Okay, at the end, we have been playing friendly matches, and in this environment that I have been talking about, the development, the build an identity, and now we need to face another very different context that is a real competition with probably not a real goal for us, but obviously we needed to try, and the pressure is difficult to put out. So we needed in this moment work on it. Obviously we need to be more competitive than we have been before, and increase our level of concentration. And to do all these things, we designed a training plan in which we had to generate competition and at the minimum competition feelings in the players during our training session. And we always train, for example, with music in order to make the players feel more or less the same things that during the games, and work on how to direct the pressure towards something positive. Okay, change the stress into motivation. And to do this, we try to find a balance between activation and relaxation. And in addition, we have to ensure the focus wasn't on the result, but on the process. And once again, we gave a lot of importance to these group games, but in this time with more focus on competitive games. We develop also different dynamics where the players had the opportunity to express themselves, not only about aspect of the game, also about how they felt, how they manage the feelings, and we generate a commitment among teammates that help us to improve our level of communication and trying to transfer it also on the pitch. We continue with the individual plans of communication, and in my opinion, it helped us a lot to have under control, more or less, all these individual aspects that could help or not help us in the process in this moment. Also, the players spent a lot of time we saw they spent a lot of time with their phones, and we need to find a way to use it also as a strength of us. And then with the photos, I will show you what we did. At the end, we knew that the results were very difficult to achieve, so it was. But in case, the working atmosphere that we had built, this family aspect that I have mentioned, helped us not to lose the focus, and to remain together to continue with our real objective that was develop the sport in China. We also, with this, you can go to next, I think that are the photos. Okay, to face the problem that we had with the funds, thanks to the team manager, we managed to get the whole expedition to have the same mobile phone case. So it helped us that when someone see us, they realize that we were a team and we were together. And also we continue with this more of familiarity and confidence, and we remain together, we stay together, and these photos are the reality we had during all the process.
Sure. Given these experiences, obviously, Maria, thanks. Also ask before you finish, ask Davor about the main difference he can feel working with a club or working with a national team in this kind of structures, because obviously a lot of different tools you need, I know, but sensations and feelings and thoughts, Davor, regarding these aspects Maria commented before.
Well, when I trained the team in a Swiss league or in Kuwait, it was for me was just to let them know where they want to go, or what was the main goal for them. That means to win a championship. So that means to win a championship and to train hard and never to lose focus to win this championship. For a national team, it's the same. You will not say, okay, we want to win a national team, but we want to win a big tournament like EBSL final, qualifier, and then after then a World Cup. So that means we had every time the same goal, but it was on a different level. So that means national and international. Maybe you can also have an international goal when you win a championship, and after then you will go with a club in or the Winners' Cup. But of course it's a little bit different, because you have now in the national team you have really good players, and in a club you have also good players, but they are not all on the same level. So this is a little bit different, but never lose your focus to bring both teams on a maximal level, really maximal level. So that means, hey, I will bring you on a maximal level. That means 100% or 110%, and the same is on the other side. And also to bring some players from the club to the national team. So that means some players, they have the goal to say, okay, well, one time I want to play for the Swiss national team. Okay, but first of all, first step, you have to be successful with your whole team in the club. And after then, if you play really good championship, after then they will invite you and to say, okay, let's come to the training and be with us in the Swiss national team. And then next step, to be successful with the national team.
Have an homogeneous group then will be a key point to know and understand the tools you need to work with between the club and the national team. National team, obviously, most of times, homogeneous group. I know different players, different levels, but at the minimum, all of them will have the experience, the requirements, the capacities. Yes, right. Full agree.
Exactly.
Good. Then Maria, thanks. We will talk with you later again, okay? And we will go ahead with Davor, okay? Anything else to talk about that, about the last comments, conclusions?
Yeah, I only want to add that, no, you can go the next.
Okay.
that we cannot understand the player as a set of parts, but as a whole. In this with this image, I want to reflect in some way that if we think that we have to give more importance to any of the classics sections, we are wrong. The player needs to know himself and others, just as the coach needs to know each player, because there are as many types of players as there are beach soccer players. So, as I said at the beginning, it's very important to develop the training process with a working group and having a specialist in each area, working together and sharing the whole process. It will help us to not only to improve the player more, but also faster. So we need to understand it, and we need the people around beach soccer try to achieve it.
Fully agree. Okay, let's go ahead then with the next presentation with Davor. Before I give the word to him, I would love to say that. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Okay, give me back 1 second to present himself. Okay. I will say again that at the beginning I told you that today will not be a normal talk because we chat with not strangers. Now it's time to introduce the next person who talked. That is, he was a rival at the beginning, after become a good friend, and now also added to it is a member of the family from the bench as assistant coach of the Swiss national team with our friend Angelo also, and with a lot of friends that we have over there. He has been playing more than 10 years for the Swiss national team. Okay, he started a coach in different teams of Switzerland and won, I think, more than 10 titles until today. And since the last year, since 1 year and a half, I think, he is the assistant and the athletic coach of the Swiss national team. Also, he ran a training studio in Switzerland for the athletic and training, personal training, mental coaching, and group fitness. Then, I know we have been talking for a while, but Davor, pleasure and welcome again. It's your turn. Please show us, help us to learn more about your job, about the work and the tools we need to use on our process with our sport.
Thank you very much, my friend Rami. First of all, I want to thank to Beach Soccer Worldwide to invite me and invite us to bring this really good theme about psychology and mental in beach soccer. It's for me, it's really important because the level that goes every year more higher and higher. So that means it's not only to have a good technique or condition or to be fit, is just also to have a clear mind and absolutely a strong mental feeling on not only on this sport but in general all the sports. So when you watch some big matches, if it's on beach soccer, if it's on soccer, it's just to say it's really close between these both teams, that who will win this match in the end is not there will be one of the team is better than in a technical or technical situation. No, it's in the end who will be strong and mentally and in his mind. So for me today, I want to show you about psychology and mental training in beach soccer. So in general, what that means, and also what the different are between beach soccer and the normal soccer, some shortly really important points. And then I want to show you also a little bit of my work that I worked with especially for a goalkeeper, because today we know exactly that the goalkeeper in beach soccer is really one of the important player. And for me, it was also really important that the goalkeeper have to be really on a high level, also in a technique situation, and also in a mental position. Yes, go ahead.
Good.
Okay, so as I explained you before, psychology and mental training in beach soccer, and the other part we will see the result, goalkeeper and work with the team and success. Next step. So this is also, yeah, this, okay. First step will be psychology and mental training in beach soccer. So that means what is really important and the big points in beach soccer, or from my side, that I will show you what is really important. Next step.
Wait, you need a little bit of time.
Yes,
no
yeah, exactly. So Rami, introducing myself, that I was a player, so almost 10 years with the Swiss national team, and then after then I took the next step, and I've been today actually coach, and yeah, I won more than 10 titles in Switzerland, with the most of them with Chargers Basel-Land. And these two pictures are the works that I did as a player and also as a coach. Good. Next step.
Wait.
Yes. So the left side is really special picture, because we won as a club both titles. That means in the men and women's championship, and we are all together, and we share this really big evening and day together. And yeah, so how do you say, we are really happy and we enjoy the celebration. And on the right side, you see me, the coach from Al Arabi in Kuwait. When I was there for 1.5 months, I was there as a coach, and we won the first title after 10 years, because they couldn't won before one title. That means a championship. They won before some cup titles, but never the championship. And there was really good time. So it's similarly that explained Maria before. So you visit another country, another people, and another religion, and this was the same for me also in Kuwait. So I was there, different country, different religion, and the players or the team never had before a really a special training into a beach soccer. So they just play a little bit. Of course, they had a little some experience with Escobar as a head coach, but my work in beach soccer is that I want to bring all the teams, really all the teams, if it's possible, on maximal level. And it was really tough in these 1.5 months. So we train every day. So we have every 2 days we have championship matches, and was really, really heavy. But in the end, we create a really, really big family, and really, we did a really amazing teamwork. And I showed them also that everyone should to believe in himself and all the teammates and the whole team. So in the end, yeah, we won this championship, and we was really, really happy. So it works. So just to say it, believe it, really. Good. believe it. Good. Okay. Next step.
Good. Currently situation, come on.
Yes, currently situation. So since last year, I'm now the assistant coach of Angelo Scirinzi in a Swiss national team. Yeah, I'm really, really proud and really, really happy to be back. And yeah, so you can see I'm start to laugh, and really, I'm really happy. I start to smile. Yeah, because it in the past I played for a Swiss national team, and my goal was really to come back to the Swiss national team, but it was also a long time to like a process. So just to say, okay, learn it as a coach as well. So train teams, train players, and never lose your goals. And to say, okay, one time I want to come back to the Swiss national then, and this was the time last year, and I'm really, really proud and really, really thankful to Angelo that he trusts in my work. And yeah, so I'm now here, and for me it's as well to bring Swiss national team on the next level as well. Good. Good. So just shortly, what is beach soccer? So beach soccer is football and sand. However, beach soccer is more than just soccer on clay. So everyone who saw beach soccer playing, or maybe to trust to play beach soccer, he knows exactly that it's not so easy. So and also was really, really yeah, important. The sport of beach soccer requires the player to be in an improved physical condition, as well as increase the technical basic equipment for general ball handling. So if you want to play beach soccer, so yeah, it's really, really important that you have maybe a basic requirement and also skills. So playing ball, lift the ball, and also to shoot. But not forget it, you must to train. So beach soccer is not only to you will start to play in the next 2 weeks. No, so it's a long process, and never lose your goals. As again, so it's also for me the same when I start to play beach soccer in the beginnings. I say, okay, oof, so it's not so easy, as we know. And next step is why psychology and mental so important in sport. So we know exactly when you have two teams, they are really on fitness and tactical on the same level. So that means who will be better on mentally stuff. So who will be better in this time? So that means who will be more concentrated until the end. So doesn't matter if it's 3-3 and the game will just go 1 minute until the end. Who will be score the next goal? Who will be win the match? So for me, it's really, really important to explain you that both teams are on the same level, but are they all the same level in mentally stuff? We never know. So and also in incredible situations of two equal opponents, mentally and emotionally stronger, and one always decided the match for themselves. So who will be stronger? Who will be strong of these both teams? And yeah, no athlete, no team can afford to ignore this area. So in generally, okay, if you play another kind of sport, so Never ignore this area. As you can see now, there are pictures from Costa Rica that was in the middle of March. So we had a preparation there, and I make some warm up with the goalkeeper just to warm up their mind. So to be more concentrated with goalkeepers, especially with goalkeepers. Because goalkeepers have to be really more concentrated. If someone shoot the ball and they just jump from the sand up, you have to be ready, maybe to make a reaction. So this is a part of my job, that I just warm up their mind in this beginning. Good, go ahead. Okay, so I will not explain you now each part between beach soccer and football, but in general, just to say it, beach soccer is playing on sand, uneven ground, less players, faster game, and little time to think about it. That means a little time to think about it. So the game is really, really fast. So you have not time to think about, oh, okay, oh, I did a mistake. Okay, what I can do for the next time? No, you just switch off. Next step. You have no time to think about nothing. Maybe when you are on your bench, maybe when you take a rest, but during the game, into the game, you have no time. So you have to be absolutely focused and concentrate on the match. Then important elements, yeah, as I say, more concentration, focus on external, internal. That means you look around, you have the whole field, and you have to be concentrated, and the whole focus on this whole pitch, because this pitch is not, the field is not so really, really big like a normally soccer field, because the soccer field is really more bigger and you have more space there. But here is everything more closer. So you have to see each movements, moments, and to be concentrate on each situation that will come quickly to you.
A lot of times we talk about that, yes, the soccer field is bigger, wider and longer, but each detail in our sport make the difference. Then the players, as you said, need to be focused on a lot of specific and small details, as you told them. Like exactly. The image with you walking with keepers and the tennis ball is very significant from my point of view also, regarding this point that you comment.
Exactly. So the goalkeeper, they have no time. You know exactly. If you shoot on the goal and you make a mistake, after then, whoa, counter-attack again. You save the ball, second ball, then throw to the front. So every time, sometimes you have really, really fast movements and situation, and you don't have time to think about it. Nothing. Why I did a mistake now? No, just cut, say stop, go ahead. And yeah, as you can see, also the what is so really important, what the difference is in beach soccer and football. Yeah, you play on the grass, then more players, also the difficult tactics as well, more time to think. So just for explain, yeah, if you make a mistake as a forward, you didn't score a goal, so you can walk a little bit back, or maybe just a little bit think about. But in beach soccer, you have no time to walk back. You have to run back into your box, and then after that, from them to concentrate for the next situation. Good. Go ahead. So, oh, yes, perfect. So, what is really, really important as a beach soccer player during or playing beach soccer? So is when the pass comes to you, so pass comes flat to me, that means, okay, they will not come really normally or easy, or maybe in a soccer match, a normally soccer match. So one will play with the ball, okay, the ball, you can just watch a little bit where I can play the ball, the next step or the next pass, and then after that I will stop the ball. In beach soccer is that maybe just shortly you can watch and then back. You should to be concentrated because the ball can jump maybe on the right or on the left side. So that means you should to be concentrate and stay relaxed on your feet. Don't be heavy. Don't be heavy, because if you are heavy, you will not make a reaction on the left and right. So just be a little bit light, and then after then you can change your side. That means where the ball will go. So that means reaction if the ball takes a different direction. So you can agree that Rami, if you are really light, if you are light, so you can also make a reaction. That means you can go on the left or the right side. Then overview of the playing field. So just watch and see the whole field, because I say to you, it's not soccer. You have, in soccer you have the whole field and you can watch everywhere long distance. But in beach soccer, it's just to say, okay, small, and you have to watch each situation, and look at the ball every time where maybe he can jump on the right or the left. Take the ball and make after then a pass. Good. So mental training, as we know, is we start to prepare our minds just to say, okay, we will, what we train in the last training, or maybe what I train, or tactical stuff, or maybe how to shoot a free kick. So sometimes it's really important that you close your eyes and then have to say, okay, how I kick it last day, this free kick, how I kick it every time, my free kick. Okay, so for example, I say every time to the player, just kick the free kick as usual. That means each free kick you should to kick the same. You have to be the same skill. Of course, if you are on a long distance, okay, you will see that where's the goalkeeper. Maybe you can make some a long ball, but just to say it in generally, one free kick, one skill. If you are a really good player, like you was, Rami, sometimes you watch the goalkeeper and I say, okay, I will kick now the ball more on the left or the right side. But in generally, you say, okay, now with full power directly on the goal. So mental training for goalkeeper. So I had a goalkeeper, and he was a little bit, he had some situation that he say, okay, I'm not so concentration, and I have problem with goal settings and visualizing and stuff like that. So I took him for this training, or maybe it's also for this job, because it's also a job. And I say that as an example, I had my goalkeeper complete a special technique sequence in addition to be basic training, in order to determine to what extent this addition to training sequence leads to an improvement in technical skills. So that means application of the technicals. I use it visualizing relations, exercises, self-talk, achievement motivation, and goal setting. So maybe some parts you know, Rami, in the past, maybe use that as well.
All of them, my friend. I'm watching the presentation. I'm thinking about my career with player, and I really have to say that it's amazing see you and listen to you, because I already use all these tools, and then I'm very happy to listen and renew my thoughts. Yeah, good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, good. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
So this is a picture from Costa Rica with Swiss national team, and yeah, was a really good time, shortly time, but it was really good. Just only 7 days, but it was intense. So now I will explain you about my work with the goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper, he used the first time mental training. So it was in the beginning for him something really special, because he never took that before. So he never trained that before on this level. So is just to say it, you can see it down here. When I started in week 20 with the beginner with exercise without mental training. So I used him just to say it, some easy training. That means throw the ball directly to the front, to the forward, directly to the chest. After then, pass left side on the feet. That means left side directly to the forward, right side, then lift the ball, play the ball outside, and also shoot on the goal, and then pass left and right. So I used every time 10 reps. And as you can see it on week 20, when we started without mental training, yeah, it was okay. So that means he had 5, 6 good passes, then maybe a little bit 7. And then in week 21, I used the mental training on the first time. So he was really confused with himself. So he couldn't imagine, he couldn't be really relaxed, and because he was something new with him, so he was really unconcentrated, and he didn't know exactly what he wants to do in this moment. And so, as you can see, mental training in generally is not that you can use that, or maybe you can change something in one day. So that means you have to believe it, first of all, and second of all, need time. That means time, not 1 week or 2 weeks, no, months and years. But you have to train it every time. If you come to a level and you say, okay, I'm ready now, that you use that still until you will stop playing your sport. But also you can use that in your own normal life as well. And next will be to show you week 22. He starts to getting a little bit better, because he said, okay, just believe it. And he started also to talk with himself, just to say, okay, be concentrate, show where the forward is, lift the ball, or maybe throw the ball exactly where he is. Okay, sometimes you can also close your eyes and you say, okay, he's there, I will play the ball, open eyes, boom, playing. This is just only in the training. Okay, during the match, everything will be more faster, of course. But if you train that every day or every training, that will be safe in your mind. So everything will come easier. And so we are in the week 23, 24, 25. So we start to be a little bit more better. Then on week 26, so I used relaxations technique that means just sometimes when he throws some balls or playing some balls after 20 reps, and I say, okay, calm down, breathe and relax. Close your eyes and just breathe. 4 or 5 seconds in, 4 or 5 seconds out. So just to come a little bit more down, to relax. This was just only a test to see if it's necessary to bring him a little bit more down because he's too nervous, or he must to be on his level, on a high level. That means a little bit nervous, but on full power. And yeah, as you can see, red. So it was a little bit not a mistake, but just to say, okay, we tested, but it was not good for him. So that means I stopped to using this special training, and then he said to me, "Listen, I cannot be relaxed. I must to be on pressure and a little bit nervous." Okay, no problem. And I say, okay, let's do it what we did before, and after that, from week 28 until week 31, you see, he was better and better. And it was really cool to see how he starts to improve and how he starts to use mental training just for himself. Good. Next step. So I used also some training techniques with the team. So it's really important for me as a coach to show them, if they want to win a championship or maybe an international tournament or a big tournament, is to understand some really important points. That means I built the success pyramid to show them what is really important, that they can just only win as a team. I know we have some really big players and also really important players. They are better key players. But in the end, the key players will be also successful because he has a really good team around him. This is really also important. So I put some really important words here inside. So that means trust in yourself and also in your teammates as a team. Then discipline. If you don't have discipline, you will not winning nothing. Communication. Outside of the field, when you are together, you can speak each other, sometimes with other terms, sometimes about the match. And during the match, also communication is really important. Then helpfulness, fun, and will. So you want to win a World Cup, or maybe you want to win a championship, you have to will. Respect is also really a big point. Keep order. So that means keep order. If you have some players, they are older than you and they have more experience, and you have now young talents, keep order. Okay, because they want to help you. It's not they want to kill you, just help you, but keep all order. You know that exactly.
Right,
so that
right.
means
Amazing.
And sacrifices for the team, and top of the top is believing success. Really believing success. And on the left side you can see, okay, it's in German. So you have this word team, so that means team, and translated from German and English, and it's do something especially together. So this is some really special part that I use for the team. Not only this one, but most of the time. And as you can see, I was successful with the team Chargers, and in 2015 was the first year. So I was undefeated in the Swiss Beach Soccer League. I won the cup and the championship. Then next year, champion again. Then I changed to Havana Shot. We won the cup, but we lost the final in the penalty kicks. So yeah, what it was really good fight against Chargers, against my ex-club, and then back to Chargers again, champion. And yeah, last year we started with the Swiss national team, and yeah, just one correction: it was not 2019; it was 2020. So in this year where started the pandemic, and we couldn't play a lot of tournaments, but we arrived to the final, and we lost also the match against Portugal, just only one goal different. Yeah, the question is how to mentally prepare the teams ahead of important matches. It's for example, if you play in a World Cup, or you are in the World Cup, you know exactly. Just explain that, or ask a player why they are there, why they're on a World Cup, why, and for what. For me, as a player, as an ex-player, I said, okay, if I go to the World Cup and I will play the World Cup, I want to go there. I want to arrive the final and to win this final. It doesn't matter why, just to say it. I'm going there and I want to arrive to the final and to win this final. But we have for example, we have 7 matches, but each match is a final match.
I think, Davor, one question, please.
Yes.
Talking about that you comment, and I was thinking about the different profiles of the players, the age, the experience, and also the individual works and the team work. Then how can manage that aspects? And because I think it's important, obviously, priority what you are talking, but it's different the impact you have with the younger than with the older, and it's different the needs of the older and expert players than from the younger. Some players will need more press from your side or more concentrate point, and other ones will be able to be concentrated by themselves. Then how we can manage that? How?
It's also important that you talk with each player alone. So you cannot in generally say to the whole team, yeah, we must to be aggressive, or maybe you can, or maybe you shout in the general of the whole team, because some players are sensitive, and you have to be you have to have a little bit more feeling about in which situation, on which player you have to talk with him. So in general, sometimes you have players, you can say to him some really bad words because he need it. But sometimes we have also players that say, okay, you cannot use the same word with this player, with other player, or maybe he's young player, because they need more support. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure. This is the thing, the profile of the players and the tools and the works you need to do with each of them differently. After, obviously, the teamwork is different. Also, is another aspect. But the individual ones is very not difficult, but obviously different kind of works and tools you need, and the needs from each player.
Exactly. So
Yes.
just first of all, you have also each player. So each player needs that you talk with him. So this is really important. Okay. And the second of all is that you have the whole team. So bring them all together and say to him, to all of them, hey, trust himself, trust every one of these players together, because we can win just only together.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, good. Well, thanks again, both. Then we will try to summarize with some questions, okay, from people, and we will try to conclude. If you want to add any detail, please be free, okay? First comment coming from Brian from USA, okay? Nothing more tiring than knowing that there aren't any teams around and want to or try big soccer. How do you keep a team motivated on training and dedication when they know that there isn't much around them? And thoughts, comments you can add. You can start. Maria, you want to start? You are out for a while, then please.
Okay, I think at this point, the establishment of the setting of objectives is very important. As I said, as we said, we need to link beach soccer to the values it represents, and I think to do this, we need the goals, and they should be realistic. They should be a challenge that allow the players to focus on achieving them and not on what is happening or is going on around them. I think beach soccer individual technical aspect will be very useful in this process. Pick up the ball, shooting, bicycle kicks, free kicks. I think the sport is very rich in this aspect to help us to establish individual goals. And I think we need to work in this line. These goals have to be some of them group goals, but many individual ones, because the players are very different, and we need to spend time setting those individual ones, because the players are going to need it to remain focused. And I think that when the goals are achieved, or when we advance on the way to achieve them, at the end, on an emotional and hormonal level, we will generate in the player the motivation to move forward and to remain practice and to remain trying.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Full agree. Davor, you talked about that also before, right? This is the points you told before, both of you. Yeah. Any other comments?
No, I'm absolutely with Maria. Absolutely.
Good. Okay. One more question to Kara, because he's an expert player. I don't know. Okay, Joan Cusco asked Davor the first, and Maria also can add comments. How can the lockdown period have affected to players and teams? And also, he had a comment that is interesting also, being so close to the World Cup. Can we see different results than usually expected? Can that influence? And is there any special strategy to minimize the lockdown period influence?
Well, so last year was really, was also it's a little bit of shock for all of us, because in the whole world, when we had this lockdown, and the most of the player they train at home. They train it at home alone. So I show them, or I sent them some videos. Then some players come to my studio to train, because just to say, okay, we should to be fit, because we never know when we'll start again. But it was not easy for everyone, because we train it, and then after that they make a decision. I say, okay, guys, you can go out, you can play, you can train. Okay, but we never had a special goal, or maybe to say, okay, until then, we have to be ready because we will have in 2.5 months the first tournament. So it was a little bit difficult because we train it, but without a time to say, okay, 2 months or maybe 3 months. Just we train it. And then I say to all the team, I say, listen, guys, it's really, really important. It doesn't matter when we start. We will start, but we don't know exactly when. But we have to be ready. Just play and train. Because if they start after then, boom, we must be ready. And just to say it, okay, listen, we are sportsmen. We play. We know exactly which sport we play. We know exactly where we want to go. Keep going. Just keep going, keep going, keep going.
Do you think it will influence based on results? John asked also about that, and it's a good thought.
Yeah, I think yes, because now we are more concentrated. We are more concentrated because we had a long time to be together and really to train it. So more focus, more concentrate, and but we will have now the same like we had every year. So sometimes qualifier, EBSL, some players will play in Europe or in Russia, in all the leagues, and then after that we'll have the World Cup, and in the end the EBSL final. So everything will be close now. So they will start again. But to say it, everyone have to be really focused and say, okay, oh, now it starts again. So now we'll come back into the normal life. So that means now I should be really, really ready because I trained it in the last months, really, really hard for this time.
Good. Maria, any other comments or any other thoughts to add to this aspect, to these questions?
No, I completely agree. I think also it's going to be very important, the work of coaches. I think is the moment to manage players' emotions, and I think we need them to feel this time without playing, not as a difficulty, but as a way to be more committed, to be more motivated. And I think we can have some surprises, because I think this time may have leveled some things out, and we are probably going to see which teams are more prepared mentally, and not just in aspect of the game. I think we'll see.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, and one more question I want to share with you, and the last, easy one. What kind of differences, because I thought a lot about that, between the working on mental, psychological aspect with adults, men, girls and boys, and with youths? Aspects to take in consideration, okay? And initials and expert players. Some comments on some thoughts that we have to take in consideration, please. Davor, you can, what you think about. I'm always thinking about, obviously, different contests, different tools we need to apply, different targets. You have been talking about the targets.
Yes, exactly.
I'm thinking that it's completely different. Obviously, the targets for the youngers than the targets for the initials and the adults and the professional players, expert players.
Yeah, it's important that you to ask also the younger players where they have the goals. So that means just he must to have a little bit more shorter goals, not to say, okay, oh, I will be in 3 years, I want to play the World Cup. No, just be shortly. Just make your goals. For example, for next weeks, just okay, you will go to the training, just train, and then after then you are happy. No, okay, think about it. What do you need to change it? Okay, so if you are happy, just done. Next step. Okay, But if you have really professional player, they know exactly, okay, I will train it. I will go to the train and then the training. And then after then, I know exactly I want to win, or maybe I want to go to the World Cup and win this World Cup, for example. They know exactly. Of course, they will train on his skills and stuff like that, of course. But just to say, they have a little bit more bigger goals because they know exactly where they are, and they are also a longer time there. But the rest of them, they must really have some shortly goals, just to say, okay, one time I will be there, but it's a long way. Just keep way shortly, and then after then you will come pieces of pieces until your goal.
Maria, any other thoughts?
I agree with this part, and in my opinion, in this case, the psychology work with children should not be based on so much on the children, but on the work with the coaches. I think we need to have good coaches. We need to work on what I as a coach say and do, and the consequences that it has on the children's learning. So I think sports psychology at this point should focus on the coaches and not on the players in this case. I think that clubs and federations have to be concerned about that and about the improvement of their coaches, and they have to work with them on what to say, when, how to deal with each child in each phase of growth, in each moment. I think they must understand that not all children mature at the same time, and they have to adapt to each children and not the children to each coach. I think it's very important, and in the case we have to have those objectives that we have been talking about. I think as a coaches during the process we should have the objectives and not put those kind of things on the backs of the kids.
Good, perfect. Okay, guys, thank you very much for this exciting talk. Your analysis and your comments have certainly helped us to reflect and understand that there is a lot of work behind each team, behind each player, behind each person. So having knowledge and competent and capable people in the psychological area, like both of you, is a determining factor in achieving the goals. Then really appreciate. Thanks very much, Davor. Thank you very much.
Thank to you as well. Thank you very much, and I also appreciate it. And yeah, I'm really thankful, and also thankful that I can show you some special things about mental training and then how I work as a coach. And yeah, and also thank you to Maria, also to watch on the other side a little bit. But it was really interesting, and yes, thank you very much.
Maria, also a pleasure. Already see you later, but thank you very much for your comment. Thank you very much for your presentation, for your ideas, for your thoughts. Pleasure.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you, Davor. Obviously, thank you to Beach Soccer Worldwide, and congrats for this kind of talks. And thank for give us the space to show to our Beach Soccer family our way to work and how we can work with players in a lot of different ways.
Thanks to all of you who have participated, who have followed us, and thanks above to Beach Soccer Worldwide, obviously, helping us to stay connected and keep sharing information around the world, make us much better. Okay, our family needs to keep growing, and without you, and will not be possible. Then, please remain on the sport with Beach Soccer, with Beach Soccer Worldwide. Take care and be safe. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.